Welcome back to another episode of Keys of Currency, where we interview high-level entrepreneurs doing high-level things. Today, I got a very special guest. This guy is a business coach, a content creator, a videographer, and the reason I wanted him on this podcast, this real estate podcast, is because I need people to understand why content is so important. So, without further ado, please help me welcome my boy, Mr. Brandonshotme.
What up? What up? How you feeling?
I'm good, man.
I'm glad to be here. How can I shake your hand from over here? Let me do it. Across the mic like that. Let me do one of them.
There we go. First thing I like to ask people, man, is what got you into entrepreneurship?
Really, I mean, I didn't even know I was being into like entrepreneurship. I kind of like started with a skill set 1st, right? So I was rapping back in 18, 19 years old. And then I didn't have anybody to do my music video. So I kind of picked up a camera and I kind of learned the skill. So it's really just start with a skill set. And then after doing it for so long, I was doing it, 6, 7, 8 years. And that's when I quit my job. The skills actually helped me become an entrepreneur. But my first goal was not to I'm trying to be an entrepreneur. It's like, no, I'm trying to get better at, I'm trying to learn a skill set so I can actually be a rapper so I can blow up. And that will be my skill set that helps me become an entrepreneur.
Got you. So take me on the journey a little bit, man, because, I met you through Marcus, him 500, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And you got a lot of respect out here in Atlanta, right? And you're very articulate. You're very creative when it comes to content. How do we get to where we're at today? Because you spoke of how you got started, right?
Yeah.
How did this turn into becoming Brandonshotme and having Shooters Camp, becoming a business coach, mentoring people, getting people that are high-level entrepreneurs on retainer? Like, how do we get to that point?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I'll tell you, Justin, here's where it all started. No, let's go back. So when I quit my job in 2016, I was doing weddings, right? So mind you, this time I've done music videos, I've done like short films, then I did weddings. But when I quit my job, I knew I had to be. I didn't know what an entrepreneur was or what it looked like. So I linked up with a guy's name is David Shans. We became business partners, and we started to. I shop with him for free.
Okay.
So during this time, like he taught me, he basically mentored me, and we became business partners. So through this 2-year span, I shot with him for free for 2 years, right? So during this time, I learned everything about business, entrepreneurship, leadership. I met plenty of millionaires along the way. And then from working with him, I understand what business owners and entrepreneurs needed when it comes to content.
Right.
So that was like my first head start. I mean, I'm shooting Eric Thomas, I'm shooting E.K. Johnson, I'm shooting all the like speakers and influencers and entrepreneurs. I'm shooting everybody over all through Atlanta, and I'm traveling all over the country. But I'm doing it for free. Now, mind you, I'm still doing weddings part-time so I can make money because I'm shooting for free. But that's what made me learn a lot about entrepreneurship, and I became really, really good at it because I'm doing it every day.
So you basically learn through experience.
Exactly.
You didn't have like that mentor at first to kind of like teach you the game. Was that just because there wasn't really anyone teaching it? Or?
No, it was no one teaching it. So like I got the skill set, so I know how to shoot, but I don't know anything about the business side.
Okay.
Right. So when you're in these rooms and you're shooting, like you kind of get paid while you get to learn while you earn.
Right.
So while you're shooting, you pick up on different things, and you understand how to. They say like all these different business terminologies.
Yeah.
Like how to get. They say things like on recurring revenue model, right? Well, it's like, what is that? How can I get paid on a monthly basis, right? So I'm watching these people that I shoot go and execute things. How can I do it as a photographer and videographer? And that's when the retainer model comes about and things like that. But I also know what they need. So you got to think, if the most photographers and videographers are doing things like weddings, music videos, family portraits, all these other things, like whenever you go and get like, you want a photographer, you go to Life Touch, Walmart, get some headshots done. But who actually specializes in the stuff that businesses need?
Right.
Commercials, content, training videos, all this podcasts, right? There's not a huge market for that. So when people started just reaching out to me, it's like, hey, I see you do David stuff. Can you do my stuff just like David's?
Got you.
And then it kind of spread it from there.
Got you. So at what point does it turn into I'm going to become a business coach and start teaching people how to make money in this?
Sure. Yeah. So one, I got to figure out how to make money in it. Right. So that's where it started. So I had to find a way to put people on. I had to figure out how to do that recurring revenue model. Right. So I started charging people $750 a month to do like a few videos. Right. And I just didn't really know what they looked like. I didn't know how to build it out. So it was like $750, and it went to $1,000 to $2,000. And then I realized that I can make six figures. I can make 10K a month off of doing this. And I can actually hire people and actually have people do this stuff for me. And by this time, I'm talking to other photographers and videographers. It's weird. I'm in a very weird space because a lot of photographers and videographers don't know what I know at this time. Even still now, but regardless, let's go back. They don't know what I know. So I'm saying, hey, are you working in business? They say no. Do you know anything about retaining? They say no. Do you know anything about anything besides shooting, whatever they're shooting, right? So they'll say no. And then business owners are always coming to me. I'm looking for a videographer. I'm looking for a photographer. And you still can't go and look for one because if you look for one, they're still going to be doing other things that's outside of your niche. So if you're in real estate, you're looking for somebody to go and shoot real estate photography, also shooting your brand, and they don't know that, right? You hire a wedding photographer to go and do your real estate photos,
Right.
and it doesn't make sense.
Right.
So now you're specifically looking for a real estate photographer. So when you're talking to people, and let me know if I'm getting off subject, but if you're talking to people, then first of all, I forgot what the question was. Okay, let's throw it out there. But the thing is, if you're contacting people, if you're in real estate, find photographers and videographers who are who's done the stuff you're looking for. So have you ever shot a property before? Have you ever done branding before? Right? And then see if like, yes, what's the last real estate person that you work with?
Yeah.
And it's easier for them to be able to, these photographers, videographers be able to work with you because they already know what you're looking for as a real estate agent.
So make sure when we're looking for a videographer, we want to make sure they have experience with what we're needing them for.
Yes.
Not if we need real estate content, I'm not looking for the wedding videographer to come shoot me. I'm just kind of wasting my time at that point.
Yeah,
right?
because that's what's going to happen. What's going to happen is you're going to look for the wedding photographer or the baby shower guy, and then it's going to be cheap. It's going to be within reason, right? It's going to be a couple $100s, and you're going to be like, man. But the problem is when they get there, you're going to do a lot of directing. You're going to tell them, hey, shoot this. Did you shoot the bathroom, right?
Yeah.
They spent tons of money upgrading the kitchen, and they remodeled the whole kitchen, and they didn't get it.
Yeah.
Did you get the stove? Remember we did the gourmet kitchen? Oh, no, I didn't get that. I just got the fireplace.
Yeah. And you kind of just set yourself up for disappointment.
So you get home and you say, let me get the photos, let me get the videos, and then you're looking for the images of the gourmet kitchen. It's not there.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because they're so used to doing weddings or music videos, not very detailed on those particular aspects that you're looking for as a real estate investor.
That's big, man. So what I want to get into, man, this is a real estate podcast, right? Entrepreneurship podcast.
Absolutely.
And I know a lot of people are probably watching this. Like, why do we have somebody
drink
who
this?
specializes in content?
I drink this.
On here? Go for it, bro. So it's 2023, man. We're not in the cave time periods where we're handing out business cards anymore.
Absolutely.
Right? Content is everything nowadays.
Yep.
It's how you build credibility. It's how you build a reputation. It's how you build your face card. Why is content so important for entrepreneurs nowadays?
Well, you said it, right? It is your business card. People are going to look you up, right? And what happens is if you say that you do this and we go and look you up on social media and we don't see that, it's going to be tough for us to believe you. Although you know you do it. You got checks, receipts, it's all in your phone.
Yeah.
You've been doing it for the past 5, 10, 15, 20 years. But if it's not on your page, not saying you don't, but it's going to be tough for people to believe you. And that messes up your know, like, and trust factor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now what happens is, yes, you're able to survive on your own behind the scenes. But what about documenting the process so you can show your kids? What about documenting the process you can show other people in your community who want to learn? What about documenting the process so you just have it? You got SOPs, you got things in place.
Right.
But if you don't document anything, you literally wasted years of your time.
Right.
As opposed to now, once you document it, you don't have to repeat it because you've at least done it once. So, for instance, if somebody asks you a few different ways, somebody asks you like, "Hey, I've done a deal for whatever, made $100,000, I invested, I remodeled," and you say, "Show me."
Yeah.
All you can do is show them a check,
Yeah.
but there's no steps in between, right? And what if you want to start a coaching program or a mentorship or charge people for or charge a consultation? I want to do 1-hour consultations. so you can know what I know. How am I gonna pay it? And I don't believe you. Say, show me.
Right.
And I can't show you. I can just show you the check.
So it's like you have proof.
You got proof. The receipt is fine, but when you want receipt with the details.
So what do you think like the biggest disconnect is with entrepreneurs and shooting content? Is it just like they're shy, they just don't believe in it? Like
Yeah.
what stops? Because I know some high level entrepreneurs out there, man,
Yep.
that will not shoot content.
Yep.
I can't, tell if it's because they're stuck in, old times, have
Sure.
that caveman thinking,
It's a few
or they just
things.
don't like shooting content. So in your opinion, what's the reason there's a disconnect?
Yeah. So I'm glad you asked that. It's actually more than one. So one, there are a group of people who feel like that they don't need it. Right. And that's a horrible mistake.
Yeah.
That's a horrible mistake because you got to think you will be like Blockbuster.
Ooh.
You'll be like Redbox,
Yeah.
and you will get left behind if you don't move with the times. And you're just like, this has been working for me. When the recession happen, when things happen, and you figure out a way to pivot, you have nothing to fall back on, right?
Right.
If you're not thinking about what this real estate thing looks like 10 years from now, what content, what stuff am I doing? Like, what is like 10 years from now? And you just, hopefully you get enough money to be able to be in a better place. But if something happens anytime before that, your 10-year plans, it messed up because you didn't include the technology into your new plans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Plans change every decade. It's something different,
Yeah.
right? Imagine all the people, whatever they thought whenever Google first came out, right? And the internet blew people away. Phones started getting smaller. Like everything, technology kept growing. People can't even keep up, right? I don't even remember. Remember we had what we had. It was CD. No. We had cassette tapes. We had like 8-track cassette tapes, MP3s. MP3 didn't even last long before we started putting it in the cell phones. Right? MP3 went right into digital streaming. We got ringtones. It just went literally. So when you was making money off of tapes, everything, the way you made money changed. Right? So figure out a way to get not only physical real estate, but it's very, very important for you also get digital real estate. YouTube, Instagram, have a portfolio online as well as in the physical.
Wait a minute. So is that what digital real estate means? Is when you're creating content and you're like making your own YouTube channel?
That's what that's the way I take it as. I take it as if you create some type of digital real estate and you got a YouTube channel, you're making passive income off of it. That's something that it's not necessarily yours, but you're still getting passive income off of it. You know what I mean? It's a platform that's already free for you to use and you can monetize it on top of something that you already know. It's like you're compounding, right? You're already doing the stuff anyway. You're already doing real estate. Only thing extra, now it's a camera person there, right? So imagine you do, whatever, $50,000 off of a deal. Imagine you do $50,000 off a deal, but then you documented it and now it's going on YouTube. Now you're making $10,000 a month on YouTube. Imagine you documenting, you're doing a monthly membership where you're charging people $100, $200, $300 a month and you're getting $50,000, $100,000 a month off that. All because you've done the deal once, but it diversified into different areas as far as your digital portfolio. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I look at it like this. I had a chance to sit down with Pace Morby, and we talked about content at the ends. And he mentioned you're basically cloning yourself, right? Yep, every time I shoot a podcast or shoot a vlog episode or shoot any kind of content I put out there on the internet forever, I'm cloning myself.
Yep.
I'm making a bunch of me's. I don't have to keep answering the same questions when I address it already on camera.
For sure.
And that is one of the reasons why content is so important and so powerful. But I never looked at like how you just, stated as it's like digital real estate.
It is.
I mean, that's powerful in itself.
It is. Yeah.
Right. So for the people that are shy or introverted, when me and you first met, I was pretty introverted, right?
Sure.
I was really pushing myself to get into the content because I knew the power in it, right? And I did it, and then I stopped because I had anxiety issues, whatever the case, maybe I had my own mental battles, but I still knew the importance of it.
Yep.
So for the person that's watching this and they're shy, they don't want to get on camera, they're not comfortable, they're introverted, what can they do to be content creators and get good at it?
Sure. So even still, you still can create content. You still don't have to be on camera. You're going shooting a property. Do you have to be in the property?
No.
You can be the one holding the camera.
Yep.
I don't necessarily want to see you. Let me see the stove. Let me see the basement. Let me see the attic. Let me see the water heater. You can do a voiceover and talk through the entire thing.
Bro.
You can show the check.
Yeah.
We don't have to see. We need to walk us through it. We don't necessarily, people so caught up on, I need to be in front of the camera. I need to be the person. We just need the information. However you get us the information, it's all that matters to the people who are watching it.
Yeah.
That's just as valuable as showing, you've seen those, you've seen so many YouTube videos without seeing somebody's face.
So basically like doing a faceless YouTube channel.
Essentially.
But you can still build your own brands.
Yep.
Just by filming what people actually want to see.
Absolutely. I mean, you come in there with your phone, and as opposed to showing yourself and turning around and saying, this is the property.
Right.
How about just turn around and show, boom. And you can, your finger point at the property. This right here's a water heater. You see it's leaking down here.
Yeah.
Right. Have you seen those? You've been to a YouTube channel where you're trying to figure out how to, do plumbing or something like that.
Yep.
Of course, they might show an intro showing themselves, but eventually they got to show the thing.
Yeah.
So this is what you do. You unhook this valve, take it off. You're showing me the thing, and I'm looking at the thing and trying to figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
And that's still your digital real estate, your digital asset.
And you're probably giving more value that way than actually like sitting on camera and talking. Because when people get to see it actually happen,
whole tutorial.
Like, oh, that's how they do that.
Yep.
That's powerful.
It'll be less valuable if I'm trying to say it's a valve. It's like, what does a valve look like?
Yeah.
But if I can see it, I say, all right, great. So I'm watching you do it, pause it and everything. So for those people, it's still very important for you to get content done, but you don't have to get your hair and makeup done, be extroverted, be all this laugh, jumping up and down. You don't have to dance or shook and jive, right?
Yeah.
You just have to give the information, give the game away. The stuff that you know, it should be online.
That's powerful, bro. So I want to start shooting content today, right?
Okay.
I've never shot content. I've never gone in front of a camera, whether I'm extroverted, introverted, but now I've watched this. I know the importance of it. I know I need to brand myself. What are some steps I can take to start creating content?
Okay. So for one, you want to start with yourself, right? So if you have time, I guess I'm gonna talk with I'm gonna talk to two different types of people.
Go for it.
Let's say if you have time, right? You want to get really, really good at using your cell phone. All right. You can do it selfie. You can turn it towards you, and you want to download apps like either InShot or CapCut. Right now, CapCut is doing really, really good right now. I used InShot for a while, but CapCut is it's an app you can download on your phone, and it literally works.
Are those free apps to use?
CapCut is free.
Okay.
CapCut is free. You can use it on your phone. InShot is also free. InShot might cost some money. Regardless, use CapCut, use either one, and essentially start documenting what you know.
Okay.
Start documenting what you know. So think of a list about 10 things that you know, and just start documenting it either in no more than like a 5-minute video. And you can always trim it to a 1 minute, 60-second reel. I want you to get comfortable with it first. Because once you do your first 10, you'll realize that it's not that bad. Find some lighting, go outside, jump in front of a real estate, jump in front of a property, and talk about 10 things about this particular property. Right? So find out what did you have to do to get it as far as remodel. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about 5 things you had to do while you're inside it. Talk about how you found it. Talk about what does that investment look like? How much was the investment? There's so many things you can talk about. Talk about those 10 things on the camera, anywhere between a minute to 5 minutes.
Okay.
And that right there alone will get you comfortable with actually just shooting and just put it out either on Instagram, YouTube. And then also ask people on social media, ask them questions. When you put it out there, ask them, hey, I just put out this video, talk about remodeling this investment property. What else do you guys want to hear about in terms of investing?
Yeah.
Ask Facebook, ask Instagram, ask your audience, and they'll tell you. So now you did 10 videos that you got comfortable with. Now you got actual details of what people want to know.
Okay.
I want to know, how can you find a property in South Dakota? You turn around and make a video on that. And
you can do all this with your cell phone.
You can do it with your cell phone.
Do you think that's one of the biggest disconnects too? Is like people think I need all this high quality equipment and
no, you don't. You got to start somewhere. A lot of times they on social media, they actually like the algorithm, it helps people who do like organic or cell phone content. right? Because it seems more realistic, right? Because they want people to use the cell phone. They want people to use the app, using Instagram, using all that stuff. Once they see you using Instagram, using the cell phone, they're like, okay, this guy is very, very organic. TikTok. So start with your cell phone. Once you get to a point where you don't have time, that's when you start to bring on a content creator, a videographer, photographer, and they can take on those ideas for you.
Okay. So once I start creating the content,
Mm-hmm.
right, and I start getting good at it, get comfortable at it,
Mm-hmm.
like in your opinion, what's the first hire I should look at making as a content creator? Should I look at hiring a videographer,
Mm-hmm.
or should I look at hiring somebody who's a content strategist? Like,
Strategy,
what
gotcha.
should me, what should my first hire be?
So what I teach my mentees is to become content creators and strategists to blend in one,
Mm,
right? And editors. I want them to be all three. So it's three people you could potentially hire. You can hire a content, well, probably four. You can hire a content strategist. You can hire a videographer, photographer. You can hire an editor, and you can hire a social media manager.
okay.
So when I train my mentees, I train them on how to do all four, right? So now you don't have to hire for multiple jobs.
Mm,
Now, eventually, once you're a videographer and content creator get bogged down, that's when you can hire out and say, I'm gonna have this person do the social media. I'm gonna have this person do the strategy. Well, no, you still want your videographer to do the strategy. Because here's what you want to do. You want to be able to pay an amount and because you're paying them so you can get your time back.
mm,
So this person needs to come in and do your photos, videos, edits, and your strategy.
yeah.
So you know what to do. You basically don't want to come in and do nothing.
Right.
You want to walk in there. You want to get on the phone with them and say, I want to build up my YouTube. I want to build up my Instagram. And that's all you should say.
Yeah.
And they should be able to say, do this, do that, stand here. I'm going to shoot this, edit this, and do that. And over time, that should be done.
Okay.
Right? You shouldn't have to direct because otherwise you should go back to shoot on your phone.
Right.
That's kind of like going to a doctor and say, yo, my knees hurt. And it's like, all right, cool. And then you come in with extra equipment for them to do it. They should already, I'm paying you 10, 20, 30,000 to fix my knee, right? You should already know what you need to do to fix my knee. That makes sense?
Right.
So same thing with then when you're looking for, again, when real estate investors are looking for these content creators, you need to find people who can do a blend of a few things. You need to know. So that means if you have worked with a real estate investor, what strategy do you know about social media? Because shooting content does nothing if there's no strategy behind it. Why are we shooting this video?
Yeah.
That's a question you should ask. Why are we shooting this?
That's powerful, bro. You got to know that the person you're working with knows what they're doing.
Exactly.
That way you're confident in their work and you make sure they're going to mesh well with you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They should ask things like, tell me about your audience. They should ask things like, what are your insights? Right? They should ask things, just things about your business. Almost like a consult call.
Yeah.
Because if they want to know, there's a reason why they want to know more things about your business. If they get on the phone and they're just like, oh, you want content stuff done? Yeah, that's $2,000. Like, you don't even know what I got.
Right.
I could be flying you to freaking Italy. You don't know what I got going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions to be able. That's inaccurate. This person is making up prices.
That's big, dude. So, as a content creator, entrepreneur, when I start my content journey and I want to make my first hire, most of the time I've noticed it's like a videographer, right?
Yep.
What should somebody expect to pay per month? And I know it's hard to give exact figure because it all depends
Absolutely.
on what they got going on. But
Yep.
for someone that's looking to get the journey started, they've been shooting themselves, they've been shooting with their phone, they're comfortable, they want to take that next step, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, hey, I want to shoot once or twice a week. I really want to build my brand.
Sure.
What should someone expect to pay a good, solid videographer in order to start creating good quality content?
Sure. So if you're just starting out, right, you want to, especially for somebody who's skilled, high skill, we're talking about they understand strategy, they know content, they're going to be doing videos and photos. You're going to be looking for once a month, you're looking at minimum maybe $1,000.
Okay.
But then if we're talking about, we want to see you multiple times, almost like part-time basis. Now we're looking at somewhere in $3K and up.
Okay.
So that's kind of where you're looking. It just really depends on the person. But what I recommend, so just be looking at around that range for either one of those. So a couple times a week, I already jumped throw out there probably about 3K and
3K.
start with 3K and just see what they say. We can negotiate. Now here's how we can negotiate the 3K.
Okay.
So let's say you believe in my brand. Let's say I'm a real estate investor, and let's say I contact you Justin, you're a videographer. I'll say, hey, we got 3K, but 3K may be out of my budget because first of all, I don't believe in the process. I don't know, for whatever the reason is, right? So how about let's actually partner up and let's actually do a YouTube channel where, as you help the YouTube channel grow, I can give you 20% of it, right? So now what happens is this person has a reason not to leave.
Gotcha.
They can stick around with you and they can probably renegotiate down to 2,500 or something along those lines because now they have equity and there's something that they're shooting for. Because what'll happen is after a while, people will leave.
Yeah.
$3,000, they'll stick around and they'll say, hey, I got, people see me working with you. And then now I'm working with Pace Morby. And now I'm working with Jesus Christ. Right. And now it's like Jesus Christ is going to pay me $5,000.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to leave you in the dust. As opposed to now we got equity. Now it's a reason for me to be around you. Of course, we value relationships. But now this is where entrepreneurs need to actually kind of put in the work for both parties. We got a YouTube channel that I don't necessarily have success for yet. And this person wants to make some extra money. Put in the work. If you put in enough work, you'll be able to, you'll get a return on your investment tenfold if you just continue to work. Does that make sense?
But the people that, because you made a good point, like if you don't entice them, right, give them equity in something, it's possible they could just be like, hey man, I'm out, I'm done, I'm on bigger, better things.
Yeah.
But is there a way to like vet that whole situation before that happens?
Absolutely,
to see
there is.
The quality of the person.
Sure. So this still, let me go back to enticing. So one, this is something that can help without giving out equity, right? So since you want to find out what they want, that's very important. What's the goal? The goal could be I want to make $5,000 a month. The goal could be I want a studio. The goal could be I want to get in real estate.
Okay.
You want to find out how to blend what they want and how you can get it to them.
Gotcha.
That would also get them to stay.
That makes a lot
Make
of
sense?
Yeah.
So if I want to make $5,000 a month and I'm coming in half, I got to figure out how to get you to 5K. So listen, when I go work with, when I go out and work and find people, I'm going to find people and they're going to pay me $2,000 a month and I give you half of that. And, so we get 3 more people. Now you're still working with the company, I guess media company that we created essentially, and they'll be able to go and still get their 5,000 and they don't have to do any marketing for it. You found the clients for them.
Now, is that common to work with videographers and like y'all mesh well, y'all see the vision, see where it's going, and then y'all create a media company because other entrepreneurs see what you're doing?
Yes.
And they're like, hey man, we need services. Like,
it's going to happen.
Where'd you find your guy?
It's better. It's sometimes better that way. If you go out there, you wear all these real estate meetings. Nobody has a videographer. Probably about 2 people, you and someone else, right? They see the content you're putting out, and they could go behind your back and ask your content creator how much does it cost, or they can say, hey Justin, I want to use your guy, whatever. Oh no, just you can just hit me up with what you need, right? And it doesn't have to be a media company. It doesn't necessarily have to be that. It could just hit me up. It could be referral. However you want to make that money work. Right. But there's a way for them to be able to like, I know that you want to make more money. Let me help you make more money. I'm already around the people.
Bro, that's powerful.
Studio space. You want to get in the risk. I can help you get your first property.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, you're exposing them to a whole new world. So
it's so mean way. Majority, 10 times out of 10, you have the thing that they're looking for. Majority of the times. Yep. As a real estate investor, you either have that thing or the real estate that they want to looking for. So it's very important not to just talk about money. Let's talk about what their goals are. And once you find out what their goals are, already think in your head how you can help them get it. And that'll be priceless.
Yeah, I love that. I'm glad we talked about that because I feel like me and Tevin are kind of in that situation. Like, we're traveling, we're meeting all these high-level entrepreneurs, but I didn't really look at it from the aspect of, hey, just hit me up. I just been like, yo, hit them up. You're free. But I guess I could kind of see now having this conversation is like Tevin could like blow up with other people and then all of a sudden I'm left on the sideline.
You will be left on the sideline. But you can also avoid that.
Yeah.
You can avoid it. And it's just I'm helping entrepreneurs think about this because it happens a lot. Yeah. It happens a lot. It happened with me and David. It was just kind of like and I'm telling them like, yo, I want to help you. Let's create something. But we just didn't really like see eye to eye in a lot of areas. So it's like, talk about it early. Let's get it early. What does it look like next year? Right.
So hold on, I want to talk about that though.
Okay.
And we don't have to go into detail
Let's do it.
on that. But what happened with that? Like because there's a lot of people that are gonna watch this, right?
Yeah.
And they're gonna have the same idea, like, man, we can create a media company,
Sure.
we can blow this shit up.
Sure.
What happened with that situation basically?
Sure.
Like, why did y'all not see eye to eye? Y'all are clearly still
Got
friends
it.
today.
Absolutely.
Y'all still connected.
Yeah.
But from a business aspect, like, why did it not turn into what you're speaking about?
So one, it was nobody like so I had to go through it. Now I can tell people. So like there was no other videographer in my space that can relate that story. So David didn't know and I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
So what I was saying was at that time I just wanted more money. Right?
Okay.
Well, I didn't get any money. So I wanted some money from somewhere so that way I can stop doing weddings. I want to stop doing weddings and just shoot for you. That's it. But we gotta find a way to do it so I can make some money.
Okay.
Right? Because I got to pay bills. So I'm like, hey, maybe let's make a course and I can get I can get paid from a course. Maybe I can do that. And in his eyes, he was more like, that's going to take away from shooting the brand, shooting me. I'm like, okay, well, like we need to find out something, and I need help.
Unless you duplicate yourself, I mean
That too. Now I needed help with that. Me or him didn't really know how to do that either. So I need an editor. I need another shooter. I need somebody to help me with this stuff. And that also kind of like fell off because he's like, I don't know. We both don't know how to necessarily do that. And that's when I met Derek. And Derek helped me kind of like automate this thing, or duplicate myself. But those were the two major things. Like I need help and I want more money. Or I need money, especially if I'm going to dedicate my life to this. So those were the two things that was a disconnect. So that's why I'm telling you and other entrepreneurs. And did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I'm like, what would have helped us is if he would have said, let me figure out how to get you an editor to get some help. So you can do this thing. Or let me figure out how to get you some extra money. Now he definitely did. Like, we got studio space together. So we definitely like got business together. But like, I want something like, something I can just have of mine. Right. Or sometimes I just need something.
Yeah.
I need something. And I didn't have.
You want some ownership in some things.
I need something.
Yeah.
So it's like, honestly, I didn't even necessarily need. I need to be able to say if I'm not shooting, like David, I can make some money today. You know what I mean? So I'm not left behind as a videographer. I got a wife, I got a daughter. I'm trying to do some more things because what's going to happen is as you grow, I want to grow.
Yeah.
Right. We will go out to places and he could essentially make money off. He got t-shirts. He could make money off of that. And it's just like some of the stuff he don't necessarily need. So and I take that into my business now. Like I don't turn stuff off because I know I got people. And it's like, wow, these people are like, I got to keep this thing going.
Yeah.
So that way they can at least get paid and have something they can call theirs. Because if I stop, they'll eventually stop.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. And I know, like, me and Tevin, I talked to him a lot about, hey, man, like, this is my vision. This is where I see it going. I already know what's going to come with it because, like you said, there's not too many people that have a dedicated videographer.
Yeah.
Right?
Did you ask Tevin what's his vision?
You know what? I don't know if I have.
See what I'm saying? So what's going to happen is you're going to find out that Tevin wants a music studio. Let's say he does. Let's say what do you want, Tevin?
Oh, we're doing this now?
Yeah.
10K a month.
Tevin wants 10K a month starting out, right?
Wait a minute. Have I asked you what you want?
Not exactly.
So here we go live.
So this is where I messed up. So people get to see this.
Sure. So now Tevin wants 10K a month, right? So let's say you're paying Tevin 5, right? So now we got to figure out what can we do to get Tevin an extra 5K so that way Tevin doesn't leave.
Yep.
And you're still able to keep your time. So let's say you was getting like some other clients to work with some of your real estate investor friends, right? Then you still want them to shoot you throughout the week, right?
Yep.
So let's say you shoot Monday through Friday. Maybe he just work with these people on the weekends. So I'm saying, so you're still able.
So do you make them work around your schedule?
I would.
Is your priority number one?
I would.
Okay.
I would. Why not?
Gotcha.
Because otherwise, you can't get your podcast shot. It's like, all right, let me shoot my podcast, but it's like,
right.
You're compromising. Like, we don't have to do that. You can just help them get what they want while you still get what you want.
Right.
You can have them both.
Well, I mean, the way I look at it too is like, if we're gonna do that, I would duplicate Tevin. So
that's
that
a better
way,
way.
Tevin's
Absolutely.
always with me, and then we send the other guy to go film the other entrepreneurs that need the service.
That's even better.
So yeah, dude,
That's even better. You can get with Tevin and say, listen, I'm gonna find somebody. We're gonna train them. And essentially, let somebody pays, $2,000, $3,000 a month. You pay that videographer, whatever, $500,000. Tevin has a team to edit, and then you still can bring home $1,500 to the house, where you and Tevin can split or whatever. So it's definitely plenty of ways to make it happen.
Oh, bro, Tevin, we're gonna blow this shit up, bro.
Everybody's thinking about it, man. There's a lot of people thinking about it, but not anybody who's like down to actually make it happen.
Bro, everywhere we go, he's passing out his number. All right. Yeah. Because I'm just like, yo, hit him up. I mean, he could use the work. Go ahead. So, but you put it in perspective. It's like we could partner on this and really like take this next level.
Yep.
Right? Because as the brand goes, like more and more and more people are going to start contacting us.
Let me tell you what actually happened. I'm glad you mentioned it. Here's what happened with me. It was with me, David, and Derek. What happened was, I was still working with David, and Derek hit me up and was flying to the Philippines.
What year was this?
2018.
Okay.
Maybe 2017.
So half a decade.
Maybe 2017. Regardless. So Dave was like, hey, as it got close to whatever his date was, I think August or whatever, David hit me up and said, listen, we're going to Canada to shoot my event.
This is before he was real big.
Essentially.
Yeah.
So I said, Derek already booked me. Might have been 3 months prior. He booked me for like 3 weeks.
Damn.
I was in the Philippines for like 3 weeks.
Did that change the whole dynamic of
Absolutely.
the relationship?
Yeah. So what happened is, you're working and you're like, hey, Tevin, work with whoever, do what you do. And before you know it, you say you're going to school in April. Right? You say April, right?
Yeah.
Vegas.
Yeah, Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
Tevin met somebody at whatever the last event. He said, listen, I'm going to book you the whole month of April. We're going to Dubai. We're doing a documentary. I'm going to pay you $30,000.
I just lost my guy.
Plane ticket booked same night. You know what I'm saying? Because you know he's gonna be there. Like I just hit Tevin. Hey, first class, I'll fly out tomorrow. He hit Tevin up tonight. He go home and said, "Listen, I'm gonna pay you $30,000. It's already wired. We're flying. The Delta One. We're going to. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These people got money. You know that people. They like, I need. It's just like it's. They like, I'm not trying to take Tevin, but I know I can need somebody. You already know real estate. They're already hard to find. Photographers, videographers who understand the lane. So he got
dumb ass. I gave the blessing, like, go for it. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let me just Tevin. I'm just gonna give you $30,000, man, the whole month. We're flying Emirates. What's the airline? Emirates. We're flying Emirates and $30,000 paying for your whole stay. You stay in the penthouses. And then you like, hey, next week you still down, right? Next week, April, we still go to about that. And you already got paid. It's like, Tevin, what can Tevin say? You blessed it. He already got the $30,000.
Yep.
Now, of course, it's more professional to say, listen, Tevin should call you and say, dude, hit me up.
Yeah.
You want me to do this? And he should make it make sense. Like, I can give you some of it since referral. It's so many different ways to make it happen. But at that point, you got a chance to make something shake. Because he going to want Tevin. So do you want to bring another content credit in this?
Bro, it's a masterclass right here, bro. Like,
I'll let you know ahead of time.
Oh, no, I know Tevin ain't going to do that. Tevin going to call you before and say, listen, do want to give me $30,000. I'm gonna give you 15, and there's certain ways to make it happen. But I'm definitely going to Dubai. But
I'm out. Peace.
Here's what let me say this: photography videographers want their own ownership, whether it's a studio, photo, video studio, whatever their passion, their creativity. A studio, they want money. Most time it's $10K. Between those two things, that's probably the most. And probably like doing like documentaries and stuff. Don't worry about that. It's over with. We just gonna run it. If you can just turn some light up, we good. We just gonna keep it running. We almost out of here. We almost out of here. Okay. Listen, y'all, a light just turned off, but let me just let what happen. But we're not gonna let that stop us. Okay. And then sometimes it's like different stuff, like different philanthropy stuff. But outside of those three, that's majority of that's what they want. They don't necessarily really want to work a whole bunch of clients, like 50 clients. That's not really the goal.
No.
They can just put like this. They'll be okay with working with one content creator, or I'm sorry, one business owner, whatever, if it can provide the things they're looking for. The results is all they want. Everything else, I don't really. You know what I'm saying? If they can just get the 10K, or if they can just get their studio, or if whatever the heck that thing is, if they can get that, it doesn't really matter. Especially one person, that's less effort. I want to work with 30 people. One to be better.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense, dude. So, I mean, okay, how hard is it to find good quality
there you go.
videographers?
That's the
because you're the only one I know in the South
absolutely
that has good, solid videographers on your team.
So
So if I'm looking, how do I find these people?
Two options. One, call me. That's the first option. Call me first, because if you call me, I'm going to know out of all the photography videographers that I've trained, I can let you know which one is going to work. Mm-hmm. That's how I made this. Oh, we got the light back on. Listen, y'all, we got light back. Because, listen, imagine this. Let's say I went through 400 and we're done again. Let's say I went through 400 photographers and videographers, right? And I say about 30 of them are solid in the country. You got to pick out of those 30.
Yep.
Right? So you got a good one. And, I've already done the vetting for you.
Yep. So
outside of me, outside of calling me, it's going to be extremely difficult. Put it like this. I haven't even figured out the formula yet.
I mean,
it's very, very few
opportunity then.
It's a numbers game. It's very, very small. It's one guy who I hit up. I've been doing this for 4 years. Solid photography videographers who haven't went through my program that I found. In the past 5 years, it might have been less than 5.
Wow.
Yep, less than 5.
A lot of them do it as like a side hustle too, is what I know.
Yeah. So here's what you're gonna run into. But I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna run into. And I'm gonna tell you how to actually try to find it. Let's make this make sense. So for one, I ran into a lot of people just wanting something. Mm-hmm. So I'm shooting you just so I can get into real estate. Like, dude, can we be genuine about this thing? Can we? Yeah. I know you want to be in real estate, but let's really try to add value. You know what I'm saying? Not just let me shoot this video and you can show me how to do a property tomorrow. Let me get a free consult call. I'm gonna shoot one video and then we on consult calls all day. I got work to do. They take, right? Yeah. And then 2, you got to figure out the people who fall off. They're excited, but they don't last long. That's something that David told me. He said, "Listen, all you got to do is stick around." I didn't know what that meant, right? And I'm still here. I'm still rocking machine. Anything we need, we link up. But sticking around is very important. People can't do anything for a long period of time. Right. So if I work with Justin, just by being in proximity, within 5 years, I'm probably gonna have some real estate properties, whether I like it or not. Yeah. Don't you agree?
Oh, 1,000%.
I'm saying?
You're exposed to everything that I'm
gonna get a property. So, and then you got to find people who understand the business and stuff you work with. So what you want to do is the first thing you want to do is you want to find people who understand business or real estate investing as far as shooting the content. Mm-hmm. Find these people on Instagram. I recommend you do things like hashtag whatever your city is, videographer. So if you're in Houston, type in Houston videography, Houston content creator, Houston, something like that. And then get on a call with all these people and you gotta do interviews. Where you working at? I'm working at Costco. All right, great. How much money you work at Costco? Okay, cool. How are you with? Make sure his portfolio looks good. This is what you want. And then just kind of go over some rates, go over their vision, and then you got to just literally ask questions around the opportunity. And if you can get them to kind of commit, then at that point you do a test run first. I would do 30 days free, and I would do tests
Is that to make sure you like each other? Or?
You like each other. See if they're gonna do when things go left, when things go wrong, we're not making money. Or are you still down for the cost? So let's say, all right, you got to go to work on Costco on Friday. I'm doing something in Vegas. Pull up at 7 a.m. I want to see if you're going to take off work. I want to see if you're going to show up on time. You know what I mean? I'm testing all these things out. Because if you can do this, if you can work for free and do all the things that if you overwork yourself in 30 days, I know that you're going to stick around. You're going to hustle for me when things go wrong.
Yeah. So what do you think is the biggest mistake videographers make then when working with clients? What is the biggest reason they end up having a fallout? Is it just they're not genuinely in this for the right reasons.
Yeah.
They don't know how to run a business. They don't know how to work
all
with
of it.
people.
Yeah, I guess if I had to name one, I would say they don't value relationships. Right? Videographers and photographers think this is a money game. It's not. It's a relationship play. It's a relationship over everything.
Yeah.
Right? So if you want, like, relationships are currency. So if I ever got broke today, I know I can call Justin, and Justin will probably have something for me to shoot, something for me to connect with, something for me to do, get a property. He'll find some ways to be able to make money in the next 90 days.
Yeah.
Right? So I can either say, let me just look out and do whatever Justin needs, and when I do charge them, make sure I can find a balance between charging them, but also adding value to make sure that we're not messing up the relationship. So I'm saying, so like, for example, let's say I work with Justin. I charge Justin $2,000 a month to do content, and outside of that, let's say Justin needs me to come by and set up a studio. I'll go and set up a studio for free. Let's say Justin calls me and say, "Hey, I need I don't know, pick my daggone kids up from jiu-jitsu." I'll go do that. You know what I mean? I need hey, find me a good jiu-jitsu teacher. I'm gonna give you the number. Because what happened is now I stay top of mind. Now I'm more than just a videographer, photographer.
You become a friend.
I'm a friend. I'm in a relationship. So now when things happen that are great in your life, you also contact me and I can be a part of it.
Yeah.
So if you got this big award show, you're gonna be at the freaking Oscars or Grammys, or you're gonna win $1 million real estate award, right? I'll probably have an opportunity to be there to meet other people and to get into other rooms. If I don't, if it's always a cash grab, I'll never be a part of any other opportunities because I'm only there for the money.
So how do I know when to set boundaries
Give me a scenario.
in the relationship? Because I know some people can abuse, or take advantage or take for granted when somebody does stuff like that. Like you said, like if they go offer to go run to a grocery store for me or pick up my kids.
You talking about as a videographer or you go to the
On both ends.
Okay.
Right? I would say more so videographer.
Okay, cool.
Right? How do I know
Sure.
when to set those boundaries with the client?
Yeah. So you want to do just enough, right?
Yeah.
So if I know, let's say this month I done shot for you already, and then you hit me up and set up your studio. Once I set up the studio, I mean, we should pretty much be good.
Yeah.
Right? If you coming for the jiu-jitsu thing, I can look at my schedule if it's free. I go ahead and pick your kids up if possible.
Yeah.
And I'm being funny. Definitely, that's not
extra lenient.
Yeah, you don't want to. I really don't want you to pick up nobody's kids. But I'm just saying, I'm giving a scenario. Like, okay, let's say I do that, and that's like, all right, now I done two. That's already enough. The one extra thing is already enough. You don't have to do much to build relationships, right? Once you do the setting up the studio, that should be enough. We done one extra thing for the month to add value. That should be enough.
Gotcha.
But if you're calling every day, and now it's getting where you're taking advantage at this point.
Bro, tell me something. Tell me your worst client experience. You ain't got to say no names. But do you have any stories of the worst client experience? So that way people kind of like have an idea of like, yo, this is too much.
So we talking about back in music video days or like entrepreneurship days?
As a videographer.
Well, I'm talking about as far as like when I'm working with businesses or when I'm working with like music.
I'd say businesses. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So pet peeves, because I can't say one because it happens a lot. This happens a lot. Last minute, right? Which I'm fine with last minute because it's like it makes sense. But like it's one thing to be last minute, right? So let's say you call me tomorrow, like boom, come up tomorrow. But when it's last minute and then you're late, and then we're there all day, like more than expected. So I just like to plan ahead because I got the packed batteries and all the stuff. So, and this happens more than once. So it'd be like, what's this? Whatever. Let's say it's 9:00 tonight. Hey, tomorrow, meet me at a studio, meet me at a restaurant, meet me whatever. Let's go and shoot. I can't give you a particular scenario because it happens more than once.
Yeah.
You pull up, they're late, 2 hours late. They come there.
That would annoy the shit out of me.
They come there and we're supposed to be shooting for an hour. Oh, one more thing, and we're there all night, and my whole day is wasted. I already got my day planned. Tomorrow, I'm supposed to be taking my wife to so-and-so, to dinner. I'm supposed to be doing personal stuff for my life so I can live. But the next day, now people don't see that side. Now I got to call my wife and say, I can't take you to dinner because I'm so busy focused on building relationships. I took a lot of sacrifices for people. Yeah. All the stuff I've already done, so a lot of photographers and videographers won't do. I did so many sacrifices to the people I get to bring on stage, the people I get to be connected with, we're not just friends because like, yo, I'm dope. It's like those are the sacrifices that I took. I'm there
You
all night.
understand that's one thing that stands out about you, man.
Mm-hmm.
You understand the value and the importance of relationships.
Yep.
And the people that are entrepreneurs and they understand how important relationships are the people that are always going to win.
Yep.
Right? Like, you know how to identify a good relationship, identify a good person. You know how to bring value to the table.
Yep.
And that's super crucial as a business person.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think we get a lot of people that try to cross over from a W-2 job or a 9-to-5 world.
Yep.
And let's say they get into being a content creator or videographer. They still treat entrepreneurship like it's a 9-to-5.
Yeah.
Right? You can't do that. Now, you want to set boundaries,
Sure.
right, as an entrepreneur, so you're not taken advantage of. But at the same time, focus on bringing value in the relationship, because that's what's going to bring you more business, and that's what's going to make you stand out from the rest of the crowd.
Let me put some things into perspective. That's what I think about. So let's say Justin calls me and he wants to hire me for a job. And let's say whether I, undercharged or whatever it looks like. I go out there, I do the job. Let's say you are late. And let's say I got to be there a lot longer than expected. Mm-hmm. Just 7 years ago, whatever, I was working a job. Mm-hmm. 5 years before that, I was broke back in my hometown in Wilson. Right? When I was 21, I didn't know not one. I didn't know a millionaire my entire life until 30. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now I spent majority of my life being broke. I've only been rich for a couple of years, right? Being broke majority of my life. So the fact that I finally have a chance to be able to have $1 million in my phone, to finally have a chance to actually talk to a successful person, be in close proximity, that I'll probably not ever get this chance or opportunity ever again. So why would I say, hey man, you gotta stay, Brandon, you gotta stay another hour? I might not ever get this opportunity again.
Yeah.
I'm calling my wife, I'm saying I'm staying with just another hour.
Yeah.
This guy has properties all over. His house is stupid crazy, right? My students want to get into let's not say student. Let's say if I'm just a bit by myself. My wife wants to get in real estate. This could be a way for me to eventually, in a couple of years, finally get into real estate and finally having successful friends and mentors in my call that I can call on whenever I need it.
Yeah.
Because
that one
5 years
relationship
ago,
could change your life.
5 years ago and before, you didn't have that.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy to me. So it's like, if you look at your life 5 years ago, you didn't have it. Look at your call log. There's no other millionaires on your phone. You finally got one in front of you right now. And you're saying, man, I'm going to charge you $50 for this extra hour. You're going to $50 just ruin $1 million relationship.
That's powerful, bro.
Perspective.
Yeah. Big time.
Go back and look at your call log. If you go back and look at your text message, it's freaking, you got your baby mom in there. You got your freaking school teacher who called about them badass kids. You got nothing worth of value on your phone. But now you in here, somebody paid you $1,000, which you've never charged them $1,000 before, right? You're in a luxurious house, mansion, or whatever that you've never seen. You probably never seen a 4-star. You probably never seen a Sheraton. You ain't never seen a 4-star hotel before. Forget 5. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You be eating Zaxby's all.
Oh man.
You've been eating Zaxby's and Chick-fil-A. You've been getting Applebee's 2 for $20.
Hey, that person must love it though.
You couldn't even get extra guac at Chipotle. I just don't. It's tough. No matter how big I get, man, it's like, wow, I can't believe these people are, want me around. Yeah. I can't believe these people are. I got millionaires that are making $1 million a month and all this other stuff. And even when I get to the point where it's like, oh wow, I made $1 million, but so many other people made 10, 20, $1 million a month. It's kind of like, I'm still got so many ways to go. Other people might look at me like, yo, this is what we're talking about, a millionaire. This is crazy. Yeah. But it's even crazier to see like the circle that I'm in. These people are doing so much more than me. Where I feel small, so I still have to stay humble, stay grounded, because I still want to get to the point where they are.
Yeah, bro. One thing about you is you're very aware.
Oh, I notice. I'm not oblivious to this.
You're very aware of the situation of your surroundings, and you pay attention. You hold yourself accountable, and your energy is good, and you understand, most importantly, the power of relationships. Yep. And that's why people like myself like to have you around. Like I'll text you randomly sometimes, just asking you random questions related to content, just to get guidance because I trust you.
Yep.
Right? I've seen you. That falls all the way back to the beginning of the conversation about the importance of documenting your process and shooting content.
Yep.
If you weren't out there doing that stuff, why the hell would I hit you up?
True.
You would have no credibility.
No.
But
wouldn't.
because you're shooting yourself consistently,
Mhm.
I trust you.
Yeah.
Right? I've seen your work. I've seen the results. I've seen you take people from making nothing to changing their lives to now where they have a business. So what's next for Brandon, man? Like, what are your goals for 2023 and beyond?
Community. Community. Like right now, I've been doing a lot of high ticket, been doing a lot of coaching, and I've been helping for a lot of photographers and videographers. You know, I've really having people like, yo, put your money where your mouth is, and I'm gonna help you.
Yeah.
But now I'm ready to reach the masses. You know, I just started this society. I'm on this monthly membership. I got my first overseas like student or client or whatever you want.
Wow.
Yeah, from Guyana or whatever. I'm like, wow, that's great.
You did advertising out there, or they just found you?
No, I did a I did a webinar.
Okay.
I did a webinar, and then because a lot of times I couldn't never get anybody from overseas because of my camp. All my stuff is like in person. You got to come to Atlanta, different workshops, stuff like that. A lot of my coaching is virtual, but then it comes with it in person. But now I'm trying to have like by the end of the year, I'm trying to have 500-600 people in a membership, and we're just doing a lot of personal business development because what I've been doing has been fine, but now I have to hyper growth. Like I need every single photography videographer to like. I don't need no excuse. If you got the money, we got Inner Circle Shoes Game. If you don't got the money, we got the society. Somewhere you need to be around. You need to be tapped in. Because if you don't go to put it like this, if I feel like I'm the only person that's doing this, who else are they going to go to? YouTube is not going to show you. So now I'm almost gatekeeping because the price is so out of range, which I'm still fine with. But at some point in time, I'm going to have to say, how can I help everyone get involved?
Bro, so there's no excuse at this point.
There's no excuse.
If this is what you want to do, if you want to get into content,
you can drive Uber and get $100.
Wow.
You can figure it out.
And you've done stuff like job placement, right? Where you're like helping people, or when they graduate from your shooters camp, you're helping connect them with entrepreneurs that are looking for videographers.
Here we are.
Boom. I got Tevin.
Here we are.
Because of Brandon.
Here we are.
I got my whole setup in here shooting this podcast because of you.
I'm very selective. When people hit me up, and because I'm the only person in between. You got to imagine, I got successful business owners on one end, and I have all the videography photographers on the other end. So I'm like the guy. Yeah. Sometimes I get paid for it, sometimes I don't. So they'll hit me up, and I got to see, let's say you're in, Vegas, right? So at this time of recording, I don't have a solid photography in Vegas, but I got somebody dope in Phoenix. You know what I mean? Even if I did have somebody in Vegas, if they're not good enough for you, I wouldn't recommend them. Yeah. It's just like somebody named John in Vegas right now. I'll tell you, I don't have anybody. Well, don't you got somebody? I do got somebody, but you don't want them. Yeah. So I would much rather send somebody from Phoenix to go shoot it, so that way you can go and get the job done. I don't. When I link you with somebody, just know I did the hard work for you. All you gotta do is pay the money.
Well, listen, man. I feel like this whole session right here, this whole episode has just been like a masterclass. Yeah. Right. Not just for content creators and real estate professionals, entrepreneurs, but videographers as well. Yeah. So I appreciate you coming on here, giving game, man. And I'm excited to see your journey and see where you go from here. Absolutely. I have no doubt we're going to continue working. I mean, I learned from this. For sure. I mean, this has been dope. Any last thoughts, man, before we dip off?
One, like I say, Taylor's about to beat. Taylor's about to take that 30,000. Somebody said, "Dang, it's not supposed to episode. Dang, I almost got him. Almost." Already. He said it. Backspace. No, if you are a real estate investor, the first thing I want you to do is I want you to get serious about your content this year for 2023. Right? I want you to pick a platform, right, where you feel like you get the most out of it. And I want you to go heavy on content this year in 2023. So if Instagram is your thing, I want you to get real heavy on Instagram Reels. Go crazy. If your YouTube is your thing, get crazy. Go crazy on YouTube videos and YouTube Shorts. If you're not really sure, find somebody like we talked about earlier, using the hashtags, whatever. Find somebody or call me. We'll find some way to connect me, and I'll be able to connect you.
Bro, I
with
need an
somebody.
affiliate link. I need an affiliate link. So we're gonna drop that.
Let's figure out.
Yeah,
But I
we're
don't
gonna
even.
get it.
How do we? Okay, because we'll figure out something.
We're gonna get it.
If somebody hit me up, we'll talk it through. Let's talk it after this. But either one of those two, right? And be able to like find somebody, vet them, and regardless what, as long as they know what they're doing and they can really help you, pay them, whether it's monthly or full time, part time, whatever it looks like. Get serious about your content this year, because I promise you, your next 12 months will look a whole lot different for what it did this month. If people think they don't need it, just know if you feel like you made a lot of money, say, "Oh well, I made $1 million in real estate. This is amazing." You could have made more.
That's powerful, bro.
So if you're excited about $1 million, just know you could have made double.
There you go, guys.
By doing something that you've never even done. You've done content once and it works for you. I'm done.
Yeah, when I say affiliate link, I'm talking about for the videographers that are watching this and they're interested in like shooters camp or what you got going on.
Whichever. How we'll affiliate whatever we put out there. Okay.
Entrepreneurs, investors, hit me up. I
Hit 'em
got
up.
you. I'm
Sure.
the new plug over here.
That's true. You can do that too. You can just, but you still got, that's gonna be a situation. But regardless, it doesn't matter who it come from. Just know that we're trying to get y'all connected. So you can hit Justin up and we still gonna make sure that you get connected. That's the whole goal. The process is not the issue. Get the goal. The goal is getting the content this year.
Yes.
That's the goal. Get the content and be serious about it. So when Justin rolls up and he's at this party with his content creator, his videographer, you also got yours too.
Yep. Listen, everywhere I go, whether it's another state or a meetup, rarely will you see me without Tevin, who's my videographer. Rarely will you see me without a camera.
And you like a celebrity. Like they roll up, don't people roll up on you?
Not yet.
People roll up on you like, what do you do? If you go to Walmart right now and walk in there and you got to be like buying, they gonna be like,
They're gonna be like, who is this guy right here? We gonna get there though. If I get people coming up to me and say, "Hey man, I see you on YouTube," that means I'm doing my job.
You're definitely doing your job.
That means I'm branding myself. So, listen, y'all, this is a whole master class. I hope you guys enjoyed this entire episode. Please like, share, subscribe, comment your favorite part about this. Brandon, how can they get a hold of you, man?
Just go to my IG. It's Brandonshotme. Send me a DM.
Here we go. Until then, guys, I will see you guys on the next episode.
Peace.
Boom.